The member from Windsor West.
Speaker, my questions to the Premier. Speaker, since the beginning of the process, the Minister of Education has failed to do her job when it comes to bargaining. The Minister has been playing games, first with major delays, then with her own so-called confusion about what was being negotiated at each of the tables. Class sizes, professional development, delays, net zero agreements. Not to mention the various different versions of the story we have heard over the past year. The minister has no credibility anymore. The minister will say or do anything to save face. The result? Chaos in our schools. Will the Premier admit that her Minister of Education has failed our kids and their families and that she has lost all credibility?
Minister of Education.
Thank you, Premier.
Yes, thank you very much. And actually, I would note that the Ontario Labour Relations Board actually agreed with my version of what was going on last spring, so she might reconsider that question. But I will talk to you, Speaker. What I would like to say is we obviously have 3 outstanding contracts that we need to get agreement with. The Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario, CUPE, the education workers, and the OSSTF education workers. And what I can say to the House is that in each of those cases we have either established dates or the mediator is actively working to sort out dates, that people have agreed to need dates, so that in fact in all three of those instances negotiations will continue.
Thank you.
That's how we get agreements.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. In fact, yesterday in Scrum, the minister said there were 6 outstanding agreements, so thank you for making my point. Speaker, back to the Premier. It's clear these negotiations have been botched from the very beginning. Since day one, all of us in this House and across Ontario have been hearing excuse after excuse from the minister. The minister hasn't been taking negotiations seriously. She's been blaming everyone except herself, being perplexed about the facts when it came to tough issues, forcing kids to pay the price while chaos flourished in our schools due to her inability to bargain effectively. Speaker, the minister simply doesn't have credibility anymore. It's time for her to go. My question is simple. Will the Premier tell her Minister of Education to resign immediately?
Thank you. Minister.
Okay, so let's get an update on all 9 of the tables here. Okay? So we have 3 tables where we have ratified collective agreements. Those are the teachers in the English Catholic, the English Public Secondary, and both French systems. All of those teachers. We have 3 groups that are engaged in job action, which are the people who I am concerned that we get back to the table with. That's the elementary teachers, CUPE, and the OSSTF education workers. We either have dates or we are working with the mediator on establishing dates with all 3 of those. We have 3 other groups with whom we are continuing to negotiate. In fact, one of them is at the hotel today. The other 3 groups, who are all education workers, we also need to get agreement.